So, Roger, tell us how Able Devices is innovating in the mobile network industry.
What we have at Able Devices, we have a configurable SIM applet, which is unique. Usually a SIM applet is developed, it's coded in Java card, and it's for a specific purpose. What we've done at Able Device is we've created an applet that has multiple functionalities, many different functionalities. When you install it on the SIM, all those functions are there, but they're dormant. What you do is you set it up the way you would in, let's say, Excel. The way Excel has every feature, but then you configure it to do what you want it to do. So it's installed on the SIM, and there's a tool that we have. It's a node editor, so it's very simple, drag and drop boxes to create your own logic flow, the way the SIM is going to behave. And it's a state machine. So it's always checking for states and events which trigger actions. So you actually draw what you want to happen. Let's say monitor for signal strength, and if it falls below this certain threshold, look for another network in the area that has above the signal strength and switch that network. And it'll do that autonomously. There's no intelligence in the cloud or in the background. And you don't need to be you don't have to know how to code in Java card to be able to create the applet. Again, it's just drag and drop and configuration because all the functions are there. So it gives you a lot of flexibility. It's actually smart, and it understands the environment it's in. It understands the context, everything that's around it. It knows what network it's on. It knows what the cell site is. It knows what the signal strength is. You can check to make sure data is working. And you program in under these conditions and these sets that creates a context start to behave this way. So it's moving on its own, and it's maintaining quality of service, or it's actually moving from network to network, or actually prohibiting you from doing certain things. Let's say if you're wandering in and out of a private network where you can only work on the private network and not on the public network, it's up to you how you want to configure it. So it just gives a lot of control to the end user about how the device is going to behave.
Well, it sounds like there's plenty of innovation packed into that. It makes sense why this is an event that you'd want to be at, but why was it important to you to be speaking at an event like the Mobile Network Innovation Summit?
Specifically because of what you're targeted at. A lot of the events that we've been to in the past are really it's the telecom ecosystem. The telecom ecosystem is based on giant scale and cookie cutter type stuff. There's SIM applets out there, but they do what they do, and they're set up to be deployed to tens of millions of SIMs, and it's not under the control of the enterprise. So there really wasn't a venue for us to actually go and speak the way we speak and talk the way we talk. This is innovation, and it's a different mindset. It's more of when you start to deal with enterprise customers, they're looking for an IT type model where they can pick and choose different solutions and configure them the way they want them to configure to make it work the way they want it to work, instead of having to take one size fits all, or for the mass or the lowest common denominator.
So I guess really important to sort of change the industry conversation about what innovation is and how it happens. Was that pretty fair?
Yeah, particularly in telecom. It really needed to be rigid because it was standards-based, and you needed to be able to roam across networks, and everything had to work in a predictable way. But again, that meant that it was the lowest common denominator that fed the needs of the masses at that point, not particular mission-critical applications such as border security or first responders or things like that, or even critical applications for the enterprise, which they would consider critical, where there has to be a certain level of quality of experience for the device.
And we've still got a few more talks to go, a bit more networking to do, but so far, what have you kind of heard from the industry at MNIS, and what kind of excites you about what's left to come?
It's actually what I'm talking about here. It's just, it warms my heart to be around people who actually want to innovate on top of the network and create things that are going to be very useful to enterprises and to just the general population. So I mean, it's really just the entire vibe of the event that is really got us excited.